New developments today in the case of the man accused of killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson last December.
Well, security was tight as the 27-year-old Mangione arrived for a state hearing at a courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Later, a judge dismissed the state's terrorism counts, ruling they were legally insufficient in this case. Now, for more on today's developments, we are now joined live by Alice Gaynor from our sister station WCBS in New York. And Alice, you were in the courtroom today as all of this played out.
That's right. Good evening. Luigi Mangione's defense attorneys had filed a motion to have those terrorism charges dismissed, and the judge actually agreed with them. However, that judge denied several other of the defense's motions. Now, when the 27-year-old entered that courtroom, he glanced very briefly at the back row and mostly stared straight forward as he was led in. The courtroom was comprised of about 70 journalists and 25 members of the public.
Luigi Mangione entered the courtroom shackled and in tan prison clothing. The 27-year-old is accused of gunning down UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson on a Midtown street last December. The judge dismissed counts 1 and 2, murder in the first degree in furtherance of an act of terrorism, and murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism, as legally insufficient, saying the evidence presented to the grand jury, quote, failed to establish that the defendant committed the crime to coerce or intimidate a civilian population or to influence or affect the policy of a unit of government. Outside, Mangione supporters cheered.
Terrorism charges dropped! They dropped the terrorism charge!
The judge did rule that prosecutors presented legally sufficient evidence of all other counts, though, so the defense's motion to dismiss entirely was denied. The Manhattan DA's office released a statement that reads, quote, we respect the court's decision and will proceed on the remaining 9 counts, including murder in the second degree. The defense also wanted to stay or halt the state proceeding pending the resolution of the federal case, arguing concurrent prosecutions violate the double jeopardy clause, that testifying in the state case may prejudice Mangione during his federal death penalty trial. The judge denied that motion. The defense also wants statements Mangione made to law enforcement suppressed because they allege officers failed to provide Miranda warnings. They want evidence seized at the time of his arrest suppressed because they allege law enforcement did a warrantless search of his backpack. And they don't want non-eyewitness identification testimony at trial, meaning someone who was not a witness to an alleged crime who makes an identification from a picture or video. The judge ordered hearings for all of this on December 1st. Mangione's attorneys left the courthouse swarmed by his supporters. They did not comment.
If convicted on the top charge, Luigi Mangione faces 25 years to life behind bars. Those other charges he is facing include weapons and forged instrument charges. Alice Gaynor, CBS News, New York.
All right, Alice, thank you so much.